Good morning, wealth builders. This is Ravi Gabis, and welcome back to the Gabis Show, where we unlock the real secrets of creating wealth in the United States every single day. By the way, what do you think about this beginning? We created this with ChatGPT, but I'm not gonna do these meetings in that high-level energy mode because it's too energy consuming. I want to have these meetings light, easy, so forget about that. But anyway, I like that beginning, and I'm going to start my meetings with my morning show with this phrase. I will program your mind that you are a wealth builder, and it works very well. So last time we talked about the abundance strategy. I still have that piece of paper on my table. So it's the core of creating wealth, or becoming rich. When you earn more money than you spend, there's always something left here. Then N, yeah, we start investing, multiplying this left money, and here's your capital that always grows. It's always growing, and one day there's enough money for everything you want, and your capital continues to multiply by itself. Actually, it's pretty simple, but it's not so easy to follow this strategy. Why? Yeah, as I said last time, there are people who spend everything they earn. Some people spend even more than they earn, or some people earned money, saved money, something has left, or earned money, saved money, something has left again. But then he changed wheels on his car, he went on a trip, he bought a MacBook or bought a new car, and there is no money again. So actually, it's simple, but there is something that does not let you follow this simple strategy of becoming rich, of creating wealth. What blocks? And that's maybe one of the most important things, because if you have that block in your mind, you won't be able to commit. I told you last time that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So there is some kind of program in your mind that makes you follow certain strategy. That's why the rich always get richer and the poor always get poorer. Let's talk about the results. Maybe it sounds corny, but it's important. How do usually people achieve results? So today, everybody, all of you who's watching this video, you have results. Let's call it point destination A. Here we are now at this point, at point A. And there is some certain point B where you want to be. So for example, you say, I want to, or maybe you don't even say that, but you have some kind of numbers in your mind. You say, I want to make this number of money. I want to have this amount of money. Today, I make $50,000 a year, but I want to make $200,000 a year. Numbers may be absolutely different. So it's point A, what you have today, and this is point B that you want to have. How it works? Question, pretty simple question. Can you get that result that you want to have, point B, just in a moment, immediately? You wake up and you're there at the point B. Yeah, it's possible. You can win a lottery, you can inherit something, or you can, for example, you bought, I don't know, coin. If you know about cryptocurrency, you can buy some kind of coin, and it went to the moon, it skyrocketed, and tomorrow morning you kind of see, oh, I made it. But the probability of that is pretty low. So short answer, it's impossible. You can't get in a moment from point A to point B. Why? Because your result is always a sequence of what? Of actions. And the result that you have today is a sequence of the actions that you're doing now. Let's call it all the actions. And the result that you want to have is also a sequence of actions, but what kind of actions? Of new actions. It's pretty simple. It's absolutely corny, but it's sometimes you get an insight. You understand, if I continue doing what I'm doing today, I will keep getting the results I have today. Absolutely corny. If I want to have new result, I need to start doing new actions. And sometimes you even know what to do. if I want to have more money, more income, I need to start a business. And you even know what to do. Do like this, like this, like this, like this, and you will have a lot of money. But no. As soon as you want to do something, you kind of rest against the wall. I need to call that guy. You understand that if you call that guy, your life will change maybe. You will start your company, you will get that contract, and you take the phone, and you want to call, but you see that notification from Facebook. You push that notification and start scrolling for the next 2 hours. Sound familiar? And sometimes your hand even does not want to move toward your phone. We have that blocks. They really exist, they're very strong, and we'll talk about them. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, or a bit later. But sometimes, despite all that blocks, all that barriers, you group yourself, you kind of tensed, you grouped your strength, and you broke through that walls, and you got the result. You doubled, tripled your income, and you kind of say, yes, I did that. I'm cool. But what happens after a while? You fell back down, and you keep doing all the actions, and you keep getting all the results. Why? Because there is something that is on the top of your actions, something that controls your actions. What's there? Potential. I call it the level of potential. How you tap your potential. And if we're talking about the old results, point A, it's one potential, and of course there is another potential. And there's something I want you to think about. Is it the same potential in both columns? And the funniest thing is, no. It's not different. It's the same. It's the same potential. The potential that everybody has from being birth. From the birth, you have that potential. But then why you tap that potential in different ways? Because there is something that controls how you tap your potential. There's something higher than your potential. The level of beliefs, the level of thinking. There are a lot of different thoughts in your mind, but I want to start a business, I want to create a capital, I want to start investing money, but there is one, the strongest belief about money that says that the safest way is go to your job, work from 8 to 5 days a week, and get your stable, steady salary. And that strongest thought will control all other stuff, even though you have different ideas. And that strongest thought is your belief. We call it belief. And when you get results, old results, you have one belief. And when you're getting new results, you have another belief. And how does it work? I want you to understand what is belief is. Everybody's talking about beliefs, but how it works. What kind of belief you have when you make that, I don't know, 50,000 grand that you do now, how it sounds. It sounds something like that. In my field, in what I do today, it's impossible in an integrate way, in an honest way, to make more than $50,000 a year. It's just impossible. How does another kind of belief sound? Point B. Not like it's possible to make more than $50,000 a year. For example, you know that it's possible. You see people around you who make more than $50,000 a year. Some people make 500,000. Some people make $1 million a year and even more. But the main thing is, for you it's impossible. For you it's prohibited. You can't make more than $50,000 a year. This is your main belief that organizes everything in that column. The belief, let's call it B, will sound in the following way. How is it even possible to make less than $1 million a year? Is it even a living? Who knows such kind of people who would say about less than $1 million a year? What are you talking about? Are there any people who make less than $1 million a year? Do you know such kind of people? Maybe it's not your familiar environment. You don't know those people personally, but these people exist? Of course. Go to Manhattan and you will see them immediately. $2 million apartment, $5 million apartment, $20 million apartment, $200 million apartment. These people exist. And when you have believed that it's impossible to make more than $50,000 a year, what happens in your mind? What happens in this column? How do you look at your potential? In the following way, okay, what can I do? I can, for example, work for someone else. I can start a small business. And what kind of actions do you commit? Okay, I continue going to the office 5 days a week, continue being employed. Oh, I will start a small barbershop. Yeah, small barbershop, so that I cannot make more than, for sure, I cannot make more than $50,000 a year in a guaranteed way. So this belief organizes all that structure, all that column, and so that you continue getting that result that you have today. But when you have a belief that less than $1 million a year, it's not a living, it's just surviving. Really? Were you born to survive? In this time when you have internet, when you have social network, when you have chat GPT and you're making less than $1 million a year, what are you talking about? It's like from a different book, from a different novel, from a different movie. But what happens here? How you look at your potential. Oh, where are those projects where I can make minimum $1 million? Yeah. What kind of business should I start? What kind of people should I know? And what do? You do absolutely different things. You do deals. You meet with people who in that field, who think in the same way with the same numbers, and you get that result, minimum $1 million a year. But when you have it at the level of beliefs, and the question is, can you change your beliefs? Remember yourself 10 years ago, when you made less money than you do today. So, what if I suggest you to live on the same amount of money today? What would you think about that? Who would say, fuck off? Why? Because today your beliefs have changed. Today, this money is not enough to live. So you can change your beliefs. You did that. You know how to do that. But how this happened? How did this happen? You may say that 10 years have passed and my beliefs changed because environment has changed. We have new technologies. Yeah, this happened, no doubt. But let's remember that time 10 years ago. Did you have people around you who made the same amount of money that you did then, and who still continue making approximately the same amount of money? Do these people exist? They do exist. And why did not they change their beliefs? What did you have that make you change your beliefs so that you started doing new actions and you got new result? And they did not. What did you have that they did not have? So people say wishes or even goals or discipline or something like that. I'm telling you the following. I'll tell you that they still have that wishes. They still want to make more money. But They maybe still even have goals, but goals does not work. Goal does not work. I did myself every single year. I wrote goals. New Year Eve, I usually used to write 10 goals. I put it under my pillow. And of course, I did it in the diary as well and other stuff. And at the end of the year, you check that list of the goals and see that, oh, 3 out of 10. Goals do not work. What works? Needs. This is what you cannot not to do. This is what you must do. And your goals and wishes start working only when they get to the level of needs. It's there was a movie, I don't remember exactly the name, that one guy, he went down under the water 100 feet or 100 meters, I don't remember exactly. He had oxygen with him, and something happened there, deep down under the water, 100 meters. Just imagine that situation. Maybe you also watched that movie. And his hand was kind of pressed with a stone, huge stone, and he couldn't take it from under that stone. Time was passing, and oxygen was running out, and he had to decide something. So the only way how to escape this situation was to cut his hand. In real life, in normal life, when we have the situation, then one has to cut his hand. It's kind of, oh, how can I do that? It's so much pain. I want to be a complete person. It's an awful life. But when you're under the water, 100 meters below the water, you have 5 minutes oxygen. The only question that you have in your mind is how? How can I cut my hand if I don't have a knife? And when your goals go to this level of need, what kind of need? Of surviving. I want to survive. I want to live. Then it starts working. And the task is to push all your wishes, desires, goals at the level of need when you cannot not to do it. And then it starts working. And I think this is what we need to do during our morning shows, the Gabis shows. I think it's enough for today. I don't want to make it too long. We continue this topic next time. It will be on Monday. Today is Friday. We're gonna have 2 days rest. So see you later, guys. Bye.